Hi all, and welcome to the Toy Soldier Saga. This is our weekly game. And this takes place in Diane's, Sable's world of the Toy Soldier Saga. It takes place in the prehistory of the novels.
This is episode 27. I don't know if my mic was live or not.
Yeah, your mic's live.
Okay, great. Hey, good evening, everyone. Sorry for the delayed response there. We are currently day 2 of National Novel Writing Month and the Game of Tomes event. And I had to get the reports cleared off before I could start, so... My name is Diane Morrison, aka Radia. I am the creator of the Toy Soldier Saga, and I am playing Celine Wintermist, an idealistic young priestess who joined the Navy in order to see the universe and maybe help some people along the way. Mine and her pronouns are she or they.
Hey, Brianna.
Hello, I'm Brianna, also known as Siobhan the Writer. I play Lieutenant Lilas Mantrimlian. He's an altruistic male elf who is hoping to get his own division of the Avalonian Imperial Navy for intelligence. His pronouns are he, him. Mine are she, her.
Did I hear a puppy whine?
Yep, hers are she, her too.
Yes.
Okay, Dodd. Or Blake, we're up to.
One sec. Sorry.
Mating call of the British Columbian Stoner.
I'm Dawn. Yep, sorry. I play Yasma Snowwind. I was an orphan, joined the Navy for a job and something to do, because, you know, it's better than living on the streets. My best friend is Crowley. Yeah. My pronouns are she, her, and so are Yasma's.
Okay, Crowley, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Blake. I'll be playing the part of Crowley. Crowley is a Phoenok. It's a race of my own creation. They're a cat-like feline race of knowledge keepers. I'm an outcast from my society due to the color of my fur. Long story. When I get time, I'll put it on paper so that it can be read out. He is generally a helpful soul or a troublemaker. All depends on the day. And the mood. My pronouns are he, him, and so are Crowley's.
Okay, Lurek. Gareth.
Hi, I'm Lyric, or Gareth. I play the part of Lyric, a no-nonsense gunslinger who had a mishap earlier on in life when he was working in the dockyards and is now in the search of the person who restored his body.
Okay, Chris. Oh,
My
your
pronouns and his are he, him.
Okay, Chris.
Hi, I'm Chris. I play Arian. He's a somewhat grizzled, older enlisted elf, and he kind of sees it as his job to try to keep all these other people alive. And our pronouns are both he, him.
Okay, G-Man.
Hi, I'm G-Man. I play... Or... Taz, I play Arden Spellsword, a Magus Kensei crafter. My pronouns are he, him.
It is.
Yeah, as well as Arden's.
Okay. Rowan. Now leave it off.
Hi, I'm Rowan. I play Vondon. You only get to see a brief video of me because I'm on satellite internet, and so sometimes I have some lag. And if I leave my camera on, I have a lot of lag. Vondon is a happy-go-lucky druidess who joined the Imperial Elven Navy to see the universe, travel in starseed ships because they are amazing. Meet new people, and occasionally stab a slaver in the groin. Her brother, and so are mine.
Okay. That leaves me. I'm Aaron. I'm the game master. Alright, I go by Aaron Ree. Alright. I also play the part of Ruabel Sunfall, in addition to playing the part of all the NPCs. Alright, who is destined to become the protagonists of the Toy Soldier Saga's father.
Aaron is very quiet.
Oh, fuck.
We thought we had it all figured out. Stretch, you're disappointing us terribly.
Is that better?
Yeah, it's important to tell us. You're absolutely right. And thank you. He says a bit better. Here. Is it better if I move the mic away from my mouth? Okay. I don't know.
Okay, how's that? I got an idea.
What's that?
Alright, are you picking up Sable on my mic?
Testing 1 2 3. Testing. Testing 1 2 3.
Does she have an echo? Okay.
What did you have in mind, dear?
Oh, I'm gonna fix this by turning up the gain on my microphone, turning down the gain in Streamlabs.
Okay, let's try that. I'm tired of this game every week.
Yeah, I'm hoping this works.
Okay, I have to quickly run out here and go coffee and my Coke because I didn't get a chance to do any of that.
So you one more talk there.
Testing 1 2 3. Testing. Testing 1 2 3. Testing. Music is drowning out lights. We can always turn down music too. It's no big deal.
Yeah, I'll turn down the music.
Alright, so we're going to resume our game here in a moment, and I imagine that Aaron will probably start with something that doesn't immediately involve Sleen. Haven't had a chance to grab anything because I literally got home got things set up for the stream, did the Game of Tomes reports, and then we were live. So,
Well, it's time for the intelligence officer's report anyway.
That's quite true. Okay, that makes perfect sense. I'm AFK for a minute. I'm sorry, guys. You'll not see my character image tonight because I didn't get time to get that set up before we went live. So, I'll be right back.
Okay, intelligence report supplemental. When last we left, our the main group of characters were having breakfast with the king, and he was teasing them. And well, we ran into the king. He teased Celine about remembering her from when she was little. Madrimlian asked for permission to utilize the library for research, and then which was granted. So him and Arden went to the library. After they left, the king invited the rest of the party for breakfast, where he talked to them, and we got information about Arian's parents. They aren't dead. The ship isn't missing. It's on a secret mission to try and find the wormhole back to Avalon, which just happens to correspond with the research that Madrimlian is doing. And so, when we last left, the king had just left to take care of some things. The party was finishing up breakfast. Madrimlian and Arden were still in the library, but they were planning on heading to the Tower of Sun and Moon to do some research for Vonvin, as well as Yasma, I believe. So, that's where we were.
Okay.
Does anyone else have anything to add to it?
No? Okay. She got everything? Okay.
Oh,
I
yes.
believe we were all done breakfast and we were all about to embark to the Tower of the Sun and Moon.
Yeah.
From the
Yeah.
palace.
One other thing that was found out was that Arian actually has the title of Duke and can actually, if he desires, toss his grandmother out of the place. However, it might behoove him to keep her there as a regent for now while he is serving in the Navy.
That's up to him.
It will all depend on her reaction to him.
Yeah. I still haven't decided that.
And Aaron, if you're trying to talk, you're on mute.
Oh, duh.
Thank you for the report.
Sorry about that, guys. I muted everything to... Yeah, I know the feeling there. Stretch, I haven't been able to do much writing today either. I think I've gotten 277 words or something done today.
And the and an at don't count.
Yeah. Anyway, you guys were just about to head off towards the Tower of the Sun and Moon. Yeah, I've had days like that too, Stretch. Someone was saying something?
I said I'll look over at Lurk and say, hey, maybe we should go grab Madrimlian and Arden.
That would probably be a good idea. Not that I would know.
Yeah, but I imagine a servant could show us the way to the library to go get them.
The two of you head off to go find Madrimlian and Arden.
Yeah, we'll try to grab a servant, tell them we need to find them, to let them know we're getting ready to head out.
Yeah, not fair, Daz. Not everybody's at their keyboard.
What's not fair?
She said she's a mercenary bannerman. The first house to type their name in chat gets my modest word count this stream.
Nope.
Mm.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's her rules, right? So,
Yeah. But I said it's not fair. There's people who are here in the stream that weren't at their keyboard. He's under House Caraptera.
who is?
Varangian.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Amino
I mean,
Rimo, I love your name.
Yeah.
Amino Rimo.
I'm back. I'm just shoving food in my face.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
So you guys start flag down a servant, not hard to do, right? And ask them to take you to the library, which of course they will. All right. And
As
on your
we're
way.
walk-
Yeah,
Oh,
go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say, as we're walking, I'll ask Lurik if there's anything special he wanted to do while we were here in Evergleam, because I don't think he's had a chance to tell us what he wanted to do yet.
I was honestly hoping the Archmages might have an inkling of who gave me my new form.
Well, that sounds like something we can ask about at the Tower of the Sun and Moon as well. They trace bloodlines. Maybe they can trace constructions as well.
Yeah, you halfway there. You guys run into Madrimlian and Arden heading out this way. You guys said you were heading for the Tower of the Sun and Moon, didn't you?
No, we were staying in the library until
okay.
so they came to get us.
Okay, then you find them in the library. Nose deep in a book.
Yeah, Madrillian has books spread across in front of him with his notebook and ink and quill, because he's been taking notes.
The sergeant will just shake his head, look at Madrimlian, and then walk over to Arden. Hey, man. Anything interesting?
Madrillian punches Arden in the shoulder. Hey, pay attention.
Oh yeah, Amina Remo. Yes, you can report your word counts right now.
Okay. Well, Lieutenant Madrimlian, we're getting ready to head out to the Tower of the Sun and Moon and come get you and Arden.
Oh, we're going? Okay.
Yeah, did you find anything interesting in your studies at all?
Oh, yes, there's some interesting crafting methods and materials I haven't heard of before.
Cool. Hey,
You've been
was there
making notes,
anything?
I presume?
What was that?
Sorry, Sergeant, you
You
were
guys-
saying?
You guys talked over each other, and so
That's on, Lieutenant. I was just going to ask him if there's anything he wanted to do special while we were here. We only got a couple days left.
I don't really have any funds to do anything that I'd like to do.
Okay, well, we're going to head out to the Tower of the Sun and Moon if you guys want to come, or do you want me to tell Celine you want to stay here and keep doing your research?
We should come.
Indeed.
Yeah, Madrim will start packing up the books, piling them neatly.
Hmm?
He'll get the attention of the librarian.
Hmm?
Oh wait,
You're
the
not-
librarian's not here.
Librarian's not here. One of his assistants, maybe.
Guess he
There's
was sent
a
for
Star
to-
Elfar here.
Write something for the king. So he'll leave a note on the books saying that he's not finished with these yet, and he will be back.
Uh, Yeah, and inform one of his apprentices
Pack everything
or
up,
something.
put his, including his own book, put his book back in his bag, and we can head out.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay, are people ready to head out then?
yeah. You guys are hanging out in the front of the courtyard, right?
Yep.
Do we want horses or anything, sis?
Well, Sergeant,
There's
lead on,
these-
'cause I don't know where we're going to meet everybody else.
Probably, she says. It is a bit of a
We
distance.
take some carriages.
Well, they were out on the patio having breakfast, so
Yeah.
I guess we should go back there first.
Right.
I can arrange some
Lead on.
carriages. How many of us?
Sergeant gets out into the hallway and being completely unfamiliar with
10?
the palace. Looks around to see if our servant is still there.
Oh. Thank you. Sorry, guys, I muted again, and I had to cough, and I didn't want to do that in your ear. I misconsider it that way. Anyway, Xerxes says, do you guys want to take some horses or maybe some carriages? It's a big city.
Sounds like a plan.
Sure.
It's a bit of a walk from here.
Yeah.
It is a bit.
This is alright, I'll arrange some carriages. Discreet
It
ones,
might be
no.
like, let's make a trip of it, he says.
Yeah.
But,
So did you, so are the four of us back with the rest of the party yet now, or?
Yes.
Okay, so yes, your servant was still out there, Sergeant.
Either that or my survival roll of 18 was good enough to backtrack myself.
Oh yeah, you can figure it out. The castle is fairly logically laid out. Alright? You know, it faces to the east. Right? So that the morning sun catches on the gardens. Alright? And all the battlements and stuff are to the west. Right? Like the armory and all of that stuff. So that apparently one ruler or another that was living here liked it that way. Liked to be able to look out in the morning sun in the harbor. Right? Apparently this king seems to like it too, so obviously I didn't change it. Right? Yeah, Xerxes calls one of the servants over and asks him to bring 2 carriages, drivers, and take the crests off them. Crests and flags. He nods and says, "Yes, Your Highness," and heads off. I figure we don't need to advertise that I'm going out, right?
Probably that would be a good idea.
And I'm not going to get away with nobody here noticing who I am, he says. So, stick close to me, he says, and he puts his arm around Vongen and pulls her in close.
Are you worried about jilted lovers?
Yeah, she walks in close with him.
He says, "No." He says, "I've never been an asshole."
Not to them, anyway. I'm just teasing.
So am I, Your Highness.
He says, "When we're in public, you can call me Your Highness, Lilas. When we're in, and I'll call you Madrumlian, and if you call me Your Highness when we're in private again, I'm going to call you Lilas in public."
Deal.
Okay. He goes, "Remember, sir, you outrank me."
That is true.
It is true.
But this is your home, and so I should be showing the proper respect. But if that's how you wish it to be, that's how it will be.
Yeah. Yeah, in court or in public, you can call me Your Highness when we're here, but I prefer that when we're in private that we remain an outfit, a unit, you know, he says. You guys are like my family away from my family. I'd make you all dukes, but then we'd have to go get rid of... What's that?
Joe just stops dead in his tracks. With a oh god no look on his face.
We'd have to go kill all the other dukes, he says, turning around and walking backwards as you're down there. It's a big pain in the ass. He says.
Well, we already have one duke in the party, from what I can tell. I think. I don't know. Histories can be interesting.
Oh dear. Cicely. How did we get into this in the first place? That's what I want to know.
Into what?
We joined the Navy.
Navy?
Hanging around with princes and things.
Well, Prince got assigned to you in the Navy.
So did the sergeant.
Oh, dukes and princes, and this is above my pay grade. I should go home. She said.
It's okay, I'll make you count.
Above your pay grade, I was an orphan.
Oh no, you won't.
I know that feeling.
If you won't hang out with me, I'll have to make you a high noble of the court so that you can.
You know, you actually are going to offend people in your court by hanging out with me.
Yes. Yes, I am. He says, and personally, they can suck on my white alpha ass. He says, I don't give a shit. He says, I've done more with you people than they've ever done for me. Nobody else has ever had my back while fishmen attacked. And giant squid. He says,
And pirates.
Okay.
Pirates, whales.
Okay. Fair enough, she says.
They're growers.
And I think I cut Arian off. You were saying, she says to him? I'm sorry.
Arian was just rolling his eyes. And he was going to say that, you know, he already had a much more important title than Duke. It's called Staff Sergeant.
That's right. Holy shit on a stick, by the way. Okay, get this, right? Because I just finally got caught up in my paperwork here for Nano and whatnot, entered my own total into the Nano site and everything, right? I have done 9,266 words.
In 2 days. Yeah.
2 days. I know, Siobhan's like, so?
Bitch, please.
Yeah, she's like, bitch, please. I know, but that's a personal record. I'm very proud of that. I've never been this far ahead at Nano at this point, ever in my life. I'm loving this game atones for that. Why?
Okay, well, congratulations, Sable.
Thanks, hun.
You weren't the one I'm trying to beat this year.
Yes, congratulations.
No, you're trying to beat Mollusca is who you're trying to beat.
No, I'm after Chris.
Gotcha. Good luck with that.
Okay, can you still hear me? You're echoing really badly, according to Dazzle's chat.
Okay, so I think I'm gonna give up and go into the other room at this point. Because we cannot make this work unless I do it perfectly. Right?
Yeah, it appears that way.
Like, either the mic's too quiet for you, or it's too echoey for me. So... Alright.
Ask Jamie if she's gonna go play the game. If he is, going to the kitchen.
Maybe it'd help if you put like a blanket by the mic on Sable's side of the room.
The mic's
Just,
by my
sunk
head.
sort of to
for
act
one.
as a noise keeper.
The mic is
Ah,
beside my
okay.
mouth.
Yeah, and the other mic is beside my mouth. And we are sitting across the room from each other.
Just
So I don't know what the hell to do with it. Do we want to play games again?
yeah, I'll figure something out.
Okay, Sable all clear now, really?
Yep.
Okay, can you still hear me fine?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, we're just asking the chat.
Okay. They hear me, they don't hear you anymore.
Oh, good. Okay. Guys, I'm sorry. I've had a really rough day,
Yeah.
right? So if I sound tense and angry at people, it's not you. It's that it has been very stressful today. And yeah. So please don't take it personally. It's not directed at anybody here or in the chat or anything like that.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Anyway, let's carry on then.
Yeah. Alright. When you get out front of the palace, there's two carriages stained brown, deep walnut color, right? Brass fittings. Right? There is a place for a coat of arms, but there isn't one on there.
Right.
Right? A shield notch, basically. He says to Arian, did you want to put your shield on there?
No, probably not until we at least go talk to my grandmother at some point.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, that makes sense. He says, well, okay, we'll leave the shields blank. Who says we have to have coats of arms just because we have carriages? Right?
That's right. Besides that, nothing travels faster than gossip or scuttlebutt.
Same thing.
Bad news in Scuttlebutt.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah. He says, so, I guess we'll...
Well, let's go.
Yeah. You guys climb into the carriages and stuff. He climbs into the front carriage and he tells them to the Tower of the Sun and Moon, okay? Yes, Your Highness. This is the driver.
I'll point out that in my books, by the way, these are the towers of the stars and the earth, but
Oh,
they
stars
could
and
be a
the
different
earth?
place. Yeah.
No, I mean, I just got it wrong. It's stars in the earth.
Yes, a Tower of the Earth, Tower of the Stars. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the crowns.
So, Aaron, is there like a footman stage on the back of these carriages?
Yes.
All right. After I hand Yasma up into the rear carriage, I'll step up on there and keep watch as we're going through town.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that for the front carriage.
Yeah. So you guys clop along, basically four of you in a carriage. Right, so there's plenty of room. They'll seat about 8. Right. So you lounge out in there as you go to the towers of the earth and stars. Right. The Tower of the Earth, have you described these anywhere?
No, we can totally, like I described kind of the interior of the Tower of the Earth, I think.
Ah.
But that's it. There's like levels that are, they seem almost impossible construction. There's like open areas, lots of vault, buttresses and like.
The Tower of the Earth is made out of the grown out of a world tree.
Bot! The bot shall die!
Siobhan got it.
Oh, Siobhan wins. You win the whack-a-mole.
Yeah, Mr. Arts wasn't even paying attention. Yeah, the Tower of the Earth is grown out of crystals that come out of a tree. They look like amber.
Nice.
Right? And jet.
I like it.
It's like amber streaked with jet. Right?
Beautiful.
Almost tiger striped.
Beautiful.
So like golden black tiger striped.
Yeah. Yeah.
With a translucent look to the gold.
Yes. It looks like if it were thinner, you could see through it. And when you guys get closer, you realize it actually is Amber and Jet.
Wow.
Right?
Very cool.
The
Celine.
Tower of the Stars, which comes into view as you round the corner from the Tower of the Earth. The big tree blocks the view of the Tower of the Stars. Right? You see it as a tower constructed all entirely of star metal.
Wow.
Amazing.
Cersei says, supposedly it's a spin Disney. I don't know.
What?
Yeah. I don't know. It says we're supposed to take the whole island and go. He says, if something ever happens here.
I didn't know that one.
Yeah, you did know that.
Interesting. I'm sure that one's not common information.
Nope. No, I said, yeah, you didn't know that. He says, so, yeah. That's why certain areas are off limits in it. It's got all the control markers to fly this island.
Stunning, she says.
Still wrapping my brain around flying an island.
I'm wrapping my brain about how much star metal is there.
The
I
ancients...
bet you flying an island is sort of like trying to...
Sorry, I missed that. Rowan swung an arm around him and...
Von Vin said, I imagine flying an island is sort of like trying to fly a cow.
Yeah.
No, cows fly really well. You just need a trebuchet.
Oh dear. So Celine pinching
It's
the
a lavash.
picture.
Move cows? Yes. Yeah, it's incredible. And it gleams, like sparkles like starlight.
Wow, she says.
He says, the Tower of the Earth is where you'll find all the natural stuff, so if we're looking for birth records and stuff like that, we'll find them in there. He says. And also druids who can trace lineage and stuff like that will be there.
Makes sense.
Druids and witches and other...
Ooh, witches, says Celine. My people, she says.
Yeah, I guess, eh? Their witches vary in odd. They're moon witches.
Definitely my people, she says. Someday I aspire to wear the amber and jet, she says. But that's a long ways
Hence,
away.
The Amber and Jet Tower.
I wondered, she says. But then again, when you think about it, I mean, it's the perfect balance. It's why the witches chose it, right? Amber is the fossilized blood of trees. Jet is fossilized charcoal.
Mm-hmm. The death of trees.
Life and death, she says. The balance preserved.
And the sergeant will lean around and look in his carriage and, look specifically at Arden and go, yes, I think they would miss a chunk of star metal, so don't even think about
They
They wouldn't miss a little piece. Yeah.
Apparently the echo is back.
Quick question, Aaron.
Yes.
This jet and amber that this is made out of. Would any of the locals have made maybe fashioned tools or other items out of it? Jewelry, that kind of stuff?
You ask Xerxes or Ruabel or?
Yeah, so someone knows the area.
Yeah. I don't know, says Xerxes. I mean, I've seen implements made from the copper or the amber and jet of the tower and the star metal of the tower. He says. I know that among the
it's not the
witches-
star metal I'm interested in.
Yeah.
Interested in that it's fossilized, so it's stone. I'm
Yeah.
wondering if anyone's ever made like a small dagger or a knife out of the marbled, beautiful.
Oh, absolutely.
stone.
Says they call them athames. You'd have to talk to Selena, who's know mostly about them, but they're basically ritual knives carried by the witches of the tower, right? And they're sharp.
Okay.
They don't cut anything with them, but they're sharp, right? And they're not sacred as far as I understand.
What?
The
Athames?
athames, yeah.
Sure, she
Oh.
says.
They treat them like tools.
Well, they're tools.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You want one?
I know, other stones made into knives seem to hold an edge forever and cut like a razor.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, a small dagger that's stone like that would be beautiful.
I'm sure we can ask them. They're really approachable, but I better not. They might feel obligated. Would you mind?
No, I don't mind. Of course I will, she says.
Good. I don't want them to feel obligated to give us one, right? Or sell us one or whatever. So, thanks.
She says.
Yeah, no, but I'll make a trade.
Okay. Well, Celine will ask them if that would be acceptable.
Yeah, we'll do that, Crowley. You bet, she says.
Okay, I'll trade them a bastard sword. Give me 1 second, I'll tell you what kind.
Yeah, anyway, Arian's still thinking about, Arden chipping off a chunk of the star metal, and he kind of has this image of the next time they try to fly the island and lean into the right a little bit because of his balance talents.
List to the port.
That's why you take it near the bottom. This way it points upwards more.
Hey, Aaron.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Those bastard swords I got.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Anything special about them? Is that what you want to know?
No. I knew there was only the one that was special, and that's not the one I'm gonna trade.
Obviously.
But the other ones, they were still of pretty good make, right?
Oh yeah, they're masterwork quality. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then I'll trade one of the.
Okay.
For
Yeah, he offers to you there, Celine, to tell him that he'll trade a bastard sword for it. A masterwork bastard sword, and a very nice jeweled.
Make a lovely ritual sword, she says, and we don't have the same kind of rules about the material that swords should be made out of. I'll ask.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you guys pull up to the front of the towers. The towers sort of face each other on a 45-degree angle. Right? The road comes around from the east to around the south and then comes up back up to the north as it goes around the Tower of the Earth. Right? At a fair distance because of sacred space. Right? And then comes up between the two towers, then V's off to the doors of each tower. Right? If that makes sense to people.
Yep.
All right, we'll I guess head into the Tower of the Earth first.
Yep.
Out of the carriage, she looks at.
Ruabel steps down and offers his hand to you first.
Well, the Dreamland actually hops off and opens the door.
Yeah.
Them and Ruabel.
Yep.
I still prefer riding, though. I think she says things bounce. She says.
Wasn't too bad in the back.
Carriage, actually.
Oh, really? Yeah, they're pretty bouncy.
She says.
Yeah, riding on the footman stage is sort of like walking on ship.
Kind of roll, not bounce. She says. My bum hurts now. She says.
Your bum hurts? Ruabel just rubs her bum.
Magellan peeks into
an invitation for that, she says.
Magellan peeks into the carriage to see how cushy the seats are.
They're hugely cushy. She's got a princess buttock, obviously.
Yeah, that's what he's thinking.
She's got a bony ass. Have you taken a look at her? She's like long and lean.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Would not be sore after riding in one of those, I'll tell you that. I do not have a bony ass.
Nope.
Okay, I'll just shut up.
You're getting more
Yes,
of an
you
ass.
shut up.
You're getting more of an ass.
That's right.
Benefits of being
Look
kind of
over
plump even for an elf.
What's that? About London being plump for an elf?
It's fine. Yep.
The benefits of being plump.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
What was that?
Xerxes turns around when he climbs out of the carriage and holds his arms up and lifts her down from the carriage by her waist.
Thank you, she says.
Mm-hmm.
Smiles at him.
Yeah, he smiles.
You come
the
and lurk.
sergeant will the sergeant will hand down Yasma and then turn to Celine and go, "Ma'am, we still do have limited time. I believe Lyric wants to check in at the Tower of the Stars, and I imagine that's where Arden and Madrimlian would like to go. So perhaps we should split up. While you go look at Bloodlines, we can see if the Tower of the Stars can trace constructions for Lyric."
Good idea, she says. Yeah, I see no reason why we shouldn't stay in two groups.
Now, have you found out what that sword is yet? Crowley?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, did you find that out in game?
Yeah. We found out that it's like a ruler's sword.
Yeah, okay.
The Emperor of
Yeah,
Yeah, we found it. The Illyria's out.
the Illyri people. The Empress, okay.
Yeah.
And nobody knows
I'm
it's
pretty
missing
sure
at the
his-
moment.
I'm pretty sure His Highness the King verified that what we suspected was probably the case.
Right. Okay. I was just wondering. Because it would be a good place to find out more about it. It would be at the Tower of the Stars. Right? The Tower of the Stars, now that you're approaching
Okay, then I will head with the group.
Yeah, okay, yeah. That came through. As you guys are heading towards the Tower of the Stars, you note there are starfaring ships near the top of it. There are docks. Right? With pinnaces and small boats hooked to them and shuttles and
Well, that makes sense if this is a spin dizzy. Lifeboats.
right? And there's some coming and going.
The sergeant will look over at Majermley and say, easier to fly up there than climb all those stairs.
That's true. We don't have our ship with us.
I'm just saying that's why there's probably ships up there.
Yeah.
What happened to the bot? Smacked the bot? What were you smacking the bot for?
Just giggles.
Oh, okay. Have a good night, Amino.
Yeah, thanks very much there, Amino.
Yeah, so which group do you guys want to do first? It's about evenly split.
Whichever. Why don't you switch to the Stars, Tower of the Stars group for the moment, because I'm answering a question here
Okay.
on Discord, so.
Okay. So those of you traveling to the Tower of the Stars, Lurik, Arden, Arian, Dremlian, and Crowley.
All the guys. Except for 2.
Right. Well, of the 10 of you, 7 are guys.
Yeah. Yep.
Anyways, right? You guys approach the doors of the tower. You see there are 2 ceremonial guard standing out in front of the tower. They've got halberds on, and they're dressed in bug suits, basically. Except for the wings on them are entirely different. They're not big insectoid wings like you have. They're still made out of star metal, but they look more like angelic wings.
Cool.
Right? And the elves are 2 of the biggest you've ever seen, like almost 6 foot. Alright? And you realize that it's not heels, these are just 2 big elves. Right?
So they're Aryan sized.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, well. Head over.
Oh, oh, your heat's out there, Stretch? I didn't know that. Lurking so long he made it back to disable our audio stream with all the rating.
Oh.
Well, this is our weekly game, Sir Frank. And the guards don't even pay you any attention as you walk up there. They're like, they look a lot like, you know, the Beef Eaters or the Westminster Guard or, you know, Queen's Guard, right? They're in their uniforms and they're just staring directly ahead. They've got swords, elven leaf blades, and thorn blades made of star metal in their hands, right? Held with blades facing down, right? And outward. Right? And they stand motionless as you guys pass by them.
That's discipline.
Yeah.
More so concentration and dedication.
Yeah.
Yep, so we go in. There's probably going to be a desk that we'll go to with a clerk.
The front area is it's a library. Like, there's books lining the walls. It's a huge round tower, probably 80 meters across. Right? In case you want to know, that's just shy of a football field.
Yeah.
Across. Right? And the whole inside of it, the first layer, which vaults up to about 15 feet, is held up by columns. And along the outside walls are bookshelves. Right? There is a singular desk on the far side of the room. Well, not quite on the far side, about 2/3 across the room. Right? And there are tables and chairs and lounging areas, including day beds, and, you know, stuff like that, strewn throughout this place.
I resign.
I resign? What?
The sergeant just grabs the Dremelian by the ear and drags him towards the desk.
Yep. Madrimman wipes the drool off his chin. And
Yeah.
Hello, says the young woman behind the desk. She's about your guys' age. Not yours, Arian. Younger than you. She goes, how can I help you?
Well, and he looks over at Lurk.
Yeah, she smiles.
I was here to see if you could find out who made me, because
Are you an automaton?
all I know is it was an elf. Of sorts. I'm entirely sentient, so
Oh. Well.
I just-
Very interesting.
I'm in this body now.
You weren't always?
Nope, I was a dockhand and had a boot fall on my back. And well,
Oh. I suppose that I'll have to check with the engineers.
The sergeant will speak up and say, "Ma'am, my captain believes that he may be perhaps the pinnacle of elven medical artifice."
Yeah, that would be incredible. You basically put a prosthetic on everything. Wow. Forgive me, she says. I'm just taken aback trying to think of which engineer I'm going to bring for this who isn't going to want to examine you very thoroughly with poking and prodding and things. She says, because I think that's a little rude. She says, but they're mages. They can be rude. Yes, I have one. Right? She puts a tube over a air thing, like over a nozzle on her desk, and then talks into a tube that appears to take her words as a wisp of voice and whip it along the tube to another area of the tower. She says, Dr. Firewalker. Yes. There's a gentleman down here I think that you should meet. He's quite uniquely endowed with elven prosthetics, and you being a local expert. I thought that you might like to take a look at him. Is he in medical assistance? Not exactly. You're being very vague, Alicia. Well, you'll have to see for yourself, Doctor. Very well, I'll be down in a moment. Then she hangs up. You guys heard all that conversation. Right? She says, well, as you heard, the doctor will be down in a moment. Anything else I can help you with, gentlemen, while we're here?
Our associate, and he points to Crowley.
Good evening. I don't believe I've ever seen a black phenog.
No, probably not.
Well, I am very young, she says.
Well, as far as I know, at this current moment, I'm the only one of my kind.
Wow, she says, that's amazing.
Some would call it that. Some would call it a curse.
Yes, I guess it would be hard to find another like you.
Definitely. Speaking of hard to find and not another like it, I had a few questions about I acquired.
And a sword you acquired. Is that what you said?
Yes, a sword I acquired.
Okay, she says. You'll probably want to talk to Alavester.
And where might I find Alavester?
He will be, there's the doctor coming. She says, he'll be on the 3rd floor. If you'll give me a minute to introduce the doctor to your friend, I'll show you how to use the transport.
Okay. I'll wait patiently right over here.
Right? She says, the doctor comes out. He doesn't even seem to notice you at first, Laura. He's just looking around. Right? He says, so, Alicia, you brought me down here. What's this about? I'd like to give you Master Laura. He goes, my word. Is that all prosthetic?
tip my hat and say, as far as I can feel, it is.
Wow. Who did that? Well, that's what he's here to find out, she says. Oh.
I don't have the slightest idea.
Well, come up to my office. Your friends are welcome, too. I believe that Crowley, the Phoenix, she says, is going to be going up to the 3rd floor. Okay, well, will you show him how to use the teleporter, Doctor? Absolutely. Okay.
Alrighty.
He takes you guys across the remaining distance across this 80-meter, 80-yard tower, right? Where you see a spot on the floor. There's 2 of them actually, right? One looks like a pentacle, the other one looks like a hexagram. Right?
Okay.
He says, now, and you see people just appearing in the middle of this pentacle. Right?
Okay.
And
That must be down.
And there's a guard, right, who's standing there watching everybody wearing a pair of rose, like quartz glasses.
Yeah, like
right?
cut gems that you've seen turned into glasses.
More or less, maybe. Maybe something like that, yeah. But he's watching the elevator as people come in. The teleporter.
Okay.
Alright. The doctor says to you, now, the teleporter is quite easy. You go to the center of the teleporter and you move the stones from one side of the hourglass to the other side of the hourglass. The stones you move will tell you how many floors that you're going. Right?
Okay.
This one goes up, that one goes down.
Perfect.
So he says all you have to do is put 3 stones over onto the other side of the hourglass and move 3 tiles over to the other side of the hourglass, and it'll take you to the 3rd floor.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Yes. He says, now, if you're looking for Lorik, he'll be on the 17th floor.
Right. Arden,
Okay.
why don't you go with Crowley? This is your expertise anyway.
He goes, are you a smith of some kind, Arden? Says the doctor. Did we lose you?
Is Arden sleepwalking again?
Actually, the sergeant looks around to see which book he has his nose stuck in on the outer wall.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry.
The doctor asked if you were
Yeah,
a
I'm just
smith
going
of
to
some
say
sort.
something there at this point. Can I ask you to hold on to that thought, Brenda?
Sure.
I just got into a discussion with Gareth last week about distraction during the game. Right? To which he was the least of the culprits of you young guys. Right? His whole thing was he's very quiet. Right? But he answers when you talk to him. You were?
I'm kind of sleepy right now. That's why I wasn't quick on why I missed it.
Yeah. Right? Well, this is a commitment to this game, guys. And if you can't commit to playing this game, right, maybe you should.
I mean, that's fine,
I mean,
but
it's
let
fine,
us
but
know,
let us
right?
know. Right?
Well, the thing is I don't know why I'm sleepy this time around, because I slept until like 3 o'clock and woke up. And it's like so I shouldn't be tired, but I am.
Okay.
So
Okay,
it's not
just
due
that
to
you
my
often
sleep
are
schedule.
tired.
Yeah, it's that you often are tired, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, and you miss out the game, and we have to drag your character along. It makes it very difficult for me to game master, and you know, if you can't commit to the game, that's fine. But let us know that, and we'll remove you, and we'll make a game you can commit to. Right?
Okay.
Okay? I'm not telling you have to make this decision right now. Right? Yeah. I'm saying that if you find in coming up here that you're having more problems still, let us know.
Okay.
I will say that Gareth talked to me and he said the biggest problem he has with getting things is he has a problem getting a word in edgewise. Generally around the three cardinal pointed people around here. The captain, the lieutenant, and the staff sergeant. Right, you guys are really proactive gamers, and he has a hard time getting a word in edgewise. I told Chris about this last week, right? And that's why he's being so excellent about trying to make sure you guys are involved. Right? So that we don't run you over, and if there is something you want to say, you've got to stretch to say it in.
I do appreciate this.
Yeah. So, you know.
It's also part of the reason why I've gone say something and then indicate for someone else to continue.
Anyway. You were asked a question there, Arden. They said the doctor asked you, "Are you a smith?" Then.
Yes.
So then you're going to want the third floor. This is.
Okay.
He says, or the basement, one of the two. The basement is where the forges are. Right? But the people who know about them are on the third floor.
And you know the captain's rules there, Arden.
Indeed.
Okay. Yeah. So, Lurkia and Arden are going to the 17th floor.
Nope. Millian and the staff sergeant are going to the 17th floor. Arden and Crowley are going to the 3rd.
Right. That's what it was, yes. Okay, so Crowley was obviously paying attention when the way to operate the teleporter was said, so I won't make you roll to remember because I know you pay attention.
Yeah. Yes, I paid close attention how to operate this thing.
Yes.
I don't want to go shooting out the roof.
Right. Knock about 40 rocks and tiles over and end up on the 40th floor.
You know, in a place I shouldn't be.
Yep.
After I did some shit I shouldn't have done. Yeah, it just wouldn't be good. Just no. I'll move 3 stones into the proper area that need to be moved.
Yep.
And go to the 3rd floor.
Okay. You feel a sort of that shift. You ever been laying in bed and had all your muscles relax at once and it feels like you drop like a foot?
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
And then suddenly pass out afterwards.
Yeah.
I've been on the drop of doom.
Yeah, the same sort of thing. Right at the start of it, when you just start to drop, that's what
Yeah,
it
that
feels
first
like.
initial weightlessness.
Yeah. Well, that's what you feel like. All of a sudden, there's that initial drop, and then
Yeah.
you look around and the whole scene has changed. Right? There's a flash of light.
Okay.
Right? And you're standing in a library, right? Alchemy lab combination thing. Right? To the east is windows. You're not sure, you'd ever seen them on the outside of the tower. Right?
Okay.
But on the east there are windows that on the east and west, I should say. And the south is a
Sorry,
an
excuse me.
alchemical area. It's got like Bunsen burners and beakers and doodads like that, right? And the rest of it is a library.
Okay.
With tables and stuff like that, and chairs and lounges and right.
All right.
You were told to see, I can't remember what I named it, Arius.
Brianna, did you write it down?
You're muted, Brianna.
Yeah. Arius, you said?
Yeah, Arius is his name now. Right? I'm gonna make a long story short. You say to somebody, where can I find Arius? And he says, Master Arius is over, there, and you follow it around until you get to him.
Yeah. Excuse me, Master Arius.
Yeah, he turns to you. Oh my. What can I do for you, my friend?
Well, you could tell me more about this, and I'll reach down to my and I'll pull out the special sword.
Ooh, that's quite the thing.
Yeah.
The real deal. Is it a replica or is it the real deal?
It's I'm not sure.
Oh, perhaps we can find out. It's quite a nice piece, either way. Even if it is just a replica, very nice. Okay. So this is the sword of Alara. Or at least a replica thereof, he says.
Yes.
Once carried by the Illyri Queen Alara, which their capital is named for.
I see. So, just, for funny's sake, it were a big deal?
What was that? I missed out that if it were.
If it, just for funny, if it were, would that be a big deal?
Oh yes, he says. If it were real, it would be a very big deal, he says. A very big deal indeed. This is what you'd have here is a priceless artifact, supposedly blessed by the Illyrian gods. Illyrian gods. They are matriarch. Yeah, I don't get that, but apparently it works for them. He nods, not looking like he believes it.
Okay. Well. Now, how would we figure out if it's real?
We'd have to look at the maker's mark on it. Which means we have to get the pommel off.
Ah.
So, that requires the lab.
I see.
Mind? Yeah, it indicates that he's going to pick up the sword.
We can put this back together, right?
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Right. He says the pommel should be on a thread, and just unscrew. If it doesn't come off immediately, then we're not going to do that. But we should be able to put in this little vise here. He says, and he puts in a vise, and he goes, and hit the quillons, bang, 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 and it turns. Now we can just unscrew it.
Okay.
Right? And he pulls it out so that you can see the tang of the blade. Right?
Yeah.
And there is a picture, a hammered-in picture of a hammer wrapped in a lightning bolt. A hammer and fist wrapped in a lightning bolt.
Yeah. Encircled by a lightning bolt.
Yeah. Goes,
Okay.
That looks familiar to me. So, okay, we'll look it up under the maker's marks.
Okay.
We'll start with hammers. Goes to a section of the library with you, where you see they're using the Dragon Song sorting system, library sorting system.
Okay.
Right? And and this section is all on heraldry. Right? But he pulls out a book on maker's marks on bastard swords. Right? From the Illyri. Right? And checks ones with hammers. The H book, basically. And you guys start flipping through that. He says, you might want to take one like the Lightning Bolt book or something. So you flip through it.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah.
And you could take the fist.
And I'll take a look at fists.
Yes, okay. Yes, you guys begin doing that. In the meantime, Lurik, you're brought up to the 17th floor with the sergeant and Madrimlian. Into and where you appear is basically in a small lounging room, right? Where you can sit for a few minutes. A waiting room, you think it is, right? And just down the hall, the one hallway that leads off of it, there is a desk sort of built into an alcove in the wall, right? With a secretary there, right? He's very pretty. Right? Yeah. And he waves. The doctor waves to him.
Schwante.
Right? Good morning, doctor.
Hail, hydrate.
Hail, hydrate.
Thank you. Oh, we also have an earlier hail hydrate to take too.
I did. I did take one for the earlier one.
Okay, I didn't. Cheers.
Schwante.
Okay. And he leads you down into an office. Right? The office is an outer office. It's not an inner office. Right? It's got a window that overlooks the area outside to the south. Right? And basically, the drive up, you overlook the drive. Right? You can see your carriage is still down there and stuff. He says, so, Lurik it is, eh?
Yep.
He says, where did this take place and how long ago?
Given what I know of what happened,
Yeah, you've been like this for probably
my
10
parents
years or something.
spreading word and
Yeah?
Yeah.
He nods. Okay. I'm going to need to take one of your plates off. It's something that I can look up on the inside and see if I can find
Okay.
a maker's mark on.
That will make sense.
Okay. You, he says, I'll take one off around your knee or so. Why don't you sit down?
Righto.
Yeah, sits down. You feel it come off. It doesn't hurt or anything, but, you know, he unscrews it. Right? He says, obviously an elf from Evergreen, he says. They use universal screws. He says, all the medical artificers from Talasia use the same screw. That way, we can have the same screwdrivers to remove them. You see another artificer. So, he is obviously Talasian, or at least trained here. Yeah, he starts turning the knee plate over in his hand. Ah, there we go. Yes, there is a maker's mark here. Look here. Right? He slides his chair over. It's on rollers. Over to where you're sitting there, the three of you, and shows you on the back of the maker's mark of the knee plate a maker's mark. You
All
okay?
right, look at it.
You okay, Lyric?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah. The maker's mark is a fist holding a hammer surrounded by a lightning bolt.
Okay.
He goes,
Okay then.
I
Yeah.
don't recognize this mark. That's odd. I know every elven artificer's mark. What's this? These were not made by an elf.
Oh boy.
They may have been installed by one, but they were not made by one. Since we should go down to the third floor, find out who made these.
Okie dokie. He doesn't say okay. He says, "All right."
Yes, yes. I think that's best. He puts the knee plate back on your knee so that you can walk. Right? Tests it. He bends your leg and checks your reflexes. And okay, I think you're fine. He says, "You want to give a test that with some weight before you put full weight on it?"
I'm certain you did your job properly.
He says, "Well, best to proceed cautiously. But anyways, I'll take you to the third floor," he says. Well, that's where the engineers and such libraries are for crafters. Also the alchemist lab.
Majumlian's ears perk up when he says Alchemist Lab.
And the sergeant leans over and says, maybe you should call down and tell him to make sure the Cthulhu brain juice is put away before we go down there, Doctor.
The Cthulhu brain juice? Oh? Is this something you know that I don't?
Not really.
Well, I know it's dangerous, but sometimes it's needed for experimentation.
Just don't experiment on yourself with it. Let's put it that way.
Oh, God, no. What, you experimented on yourself with Cthulhu brain juice? Are you crazed, man? True.
I thought it was my coffee.
You mistook Cthulhu brain juice for coffee? The smell didn't give it away?
I didn't give it time to smell. I reached over, grabbed what I thought was my coffee, without looking, brought it up and chugged.
He looks at the staff sergeant. Looks at Lorik. Looks at Madrimland. Maybe you should wait here.
Unfortunately, he's not allowed, sir.
Right. Don't touch anything.
Oh, don't worry, that was months ago, and I don't plan on ever repeating that.
You planned on it in the first place?
No, I didn't. The nightmares were bad enough.
Yeah.
I think I spent 3 days unconscious, too, so I have no idea.
How'd those rocks come out anyway?
We're not there with you, unfortunately, yet, Crowley.
Yeah, unfortunately, you're in a different area at the moment.
I thought they were coming to where we were.
Yeah, they are.
At.
But they haven't arrived yet. I need 30 seconds here, guys. I gotta take a drink because I'm going to puke. Okay, I gotta take a toke, guys, so I'm gonna put us on a 5 or 10 minute break. Okay? Because I might hack and I gotta shut off the mics. Alright. So we're gonna take a
Sounds
bio
good.
and stuff.
Okay.
Hey, let's redo
Okay,
that
you have to
then.
redo that,
Sorry.
seniors, if you're all muted.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead and ask a question again.
Okay. Now, as I'm reading through these books with the Maker's Mark of the Fist, is it just different variations and different uses of the fist
Uh-huh.
that vary from maker to maker?
Yep.
Okay. And as I said, I'm looking for Illyri makers that may have used the fist in part or in all of their makings. Like, I've never really looked up Maker's Marks, so I don't know truly what I'm looking for, but something the closest resembles the Maker's Mark that is the fist.
Yep.
And so on and so forth, right? Like, I don't know why there might be the lightning bolt around it or the correlation, but I'm gonna jot down a couple of names that match it the closest and see if I can cross-reference with Arden.
So there are
and
pictures. There are pictures in the book of these Maker's Marks.
Yeah.
Drawings, so.
Okay, well then I'm gonna set down my book and I'm gonna see if I can't cross-reference with Arden and the
Professor?
The professor there. See if we can't figure it out.
Yeah, really? Sorry. Got rice caught in my denture.
I feel your pain.
Yeah, so anyway. Alright. You guys are looking through these books when the rest of you, Sergeant, Lurik, and Madrimilian, arrive with the other doctor. Okay. The doctors greet each other, and he says, he asks what you're looking for. Dr. Arias asks the other doctor what he's looking
Well,
for. You were saying, Crowley?
looking for a Maker's Mark. A fist, lightning.
And
holding a hammer.
Same one we're looking for, he says.
Well, grab a book.
Can I see it?
Yeah, I guess we can show them the sword.
Well, that's up to Crowley, but the sword is still got the hilt off it, so.
Yeah, it's still back at the workbench, I figured.
No.
Oh yeah, I guess we wouldn't just leave it there. But...
Right. You know, you trust elves, but only as far as you can throw one.
Yeah, I don't think Crowley can throw one very far.
Right. So he doesn't trust the elves.
And Crowley trusts no one.
Yeah. And that's because he can't throw them very far.
Exactly.
No, the only elves Crowley trusts are the ones who've always had his back.
You hope.
People who got my back, it doesn't matter about their race. I know their family. It's the people that aren't my family I worry about.
Right. Yeah, you see, you know a lot about cats, too. I see, Blake. Cats don't see their owners as anything different from them.
Yeah.
Right? They don't react any differently around their owners as they do around each other. Right? So, as a cat, he sees us as just different cats. But he sees other people that aren't part of his group as elves and things like that. They are not part of his group, so they aren't cats.
I understand there's a school of thought where people think that cats think of us as kind of stupid, hairless, big cats.
Yeah. That's sort of what modern veterinary psychologists say. Yes, big, sort of stupid, hairless cats.
That's hilarious.
Well, yeah. What do you mean we don't want to eat mice?
Yeah, basically. Can't hunt worth a shit. That's why they're always bringing us stuff. You're like, they're gonna fucking starve. You retard, hunt a mouse. Kill a bird. No. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't even gotta leave the property to get that stuff. Why do you keep going out and bringing food back?
Right. Going to somebody else's hunting territory. That's why to start a fight. Off to your game. Mm-hmm. Is that the bean? Oh, it's the jambalaya one. Okay. Okay, we locked Jamie in the room now. Now we can game.
Arian! Message in the chat.
The 8 of altitude at the top of this tower could probably pitch to the other tower with a pitched elf.
Okay. So we keep going through these Maker Mark books and see if we can find the right one.
Yeah, you find the mark eventually. You always almost come across it all at the same time. It's in all 3 books, of course. Right? And it's what threw you there, Crowley, was you were looking for Illyri names, right? Having been told that Illyri named their people, they have a given name given by their parents, and then it's mother's name, father's name. Sort of like the Spanish do it, right? So
Okay.
So you were looking something like Tazarak Adrin Lauren or Tazarak Tessa Baxter or stuff like that. Well, the name of this one isn't. He's human according to
The Maker's Mark.
According to the
in
book.
the book.
He was human, or at least he was.
Or he has a human name.
No, they give a description of him in there.
Okay.
Right? You know, a human smith from Alara. Right?
Okay.
That was killed in a solar flare of their son, whose name is Orelduak. His name was Orion Spellbound.
Huh.
Okay.
Right? He was killed like... Would that be about 800 years ago?
Yeah, something like that.
800 years ago or so.
That number could change.
That number could change, so don't write that one in stone, but about 800 years ago, a long time ago.
Okay.
Long before Lurk was born.
Okay, long ago.
It would make sense for the sword, but...
Yeah, long before Lurk was born.
Unless somebody else took up the same Maker's Mark.
No, generally though, you'll make a variation because then it's your work
Mhm.
and your mark.
Well, this leads to a bigger mystery, says the doctor. What did I say his name was? Not the one from
Firewalker.
Firewalker, right. Oh, I forgot to mention, he's Nunny.
Cool.
Name
Yeah.
makes sense with yeah.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that. Dr. Firewalker says this leads to a bigger mystery. He says now we're gonna have to divine it.
Fun stuff.
He says, well, I guess we go over to the Tower of the Earth, he says. All right.
Okay.
Care to join me?
Sure.
First, I'll put the pommel back on that sword, tighten it into place, and then put that away.
Yeah. He shows you how to tighten it on there and stuff, so that it's all back together, all nice and tight.
Yep. Doesn't tell us if the sword's the real deal or a replica still.
That's why we're headed to the other tower.
Mm-hmm. In the meantime, those of you at the other tower, when you arrive inside, right? Imagine basically the Tower of the Moon in the place in World of Warcraft. Right? With big pools and trees and stuff growing inside it. Right? The tree itself that it grows out of is like, makes redwoods look tiny. Right? And inside it's got atriums of other growing plants and stuff in there. Right? You hear the giggle of laughter coming from one of the pools. Right? Looking over and you see two very shy nymphs who spot you and immediately duck under the water. Right? Not nymphs as in nereids, not sea elves, but nymphs as in fairies.
Oh.
Like the ones that
Lucky we're not
serve
blind.
Diana. Arian A older witch. You can tell she's a witch. She's wearing a cord, right, over her robe, with a knife and a hooked sickle hanging from it. So she's either that or a druid, right? And since they don't really like human druids, well, they do among elven
Elves
orders.
don't care.
They do among elven orders, I was just going to say, but... Right? Anyways, she says, hello! She told me you were coming.
She whom?
She
She says, present moon sign. Actually, I should put my camera back. Right? Yeah, it looks like this.
And she's got one of these.
Yeah, basically.
And might be wearing one of those.
Yes.
Okay. I should put my camera back on. I'm in the scene. Okay.
She says, she didn't tell me why, though. She just said, prepare for a group of elves that don't look like they should be together. But do.
Well, that probably does fit, I think, she says.
But you don't. So, what can I do for you? You're obviously a moon priestess.
I am, she says.
Excellent. She says, me too, obviously. She says, I'm a high priestess, so.
Of course, Mary Meat, she
Very
says.
neat. She says, what can I do for you? What can we do for you here in Tower of the Earth?
Well, we have a few things, actually. She's looking around. She says, first we were looking into genealogy.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Whose genealogy do you want to know?
Yeah, she just waits for people to speak up. It's their deal. So,
Well, mine.
Von Vim just what?
Raises her hand. I'd like to know who my father was.
Okay.
Nobody really knows.
Okay.
And I'm an orphan.
Oh.
I don't know anything about my family.
Well. She says, okay, I will need to prick each of your fingers, says, and take your measure.
Okay, I offer my hand.
I'll give it back to you when I'm done.
she says, while I'm here, since her mother has not told her, I might as well do the same, she says.
Find out who your father is.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You and my mother, I
yes,
take it?
You look much like her.
I do. I look a lot like her. She says, which actually makes me feel good. I should be doing quite well if I go the same way. She says.
Well, she came here about, I'd say, about 20 years ago now. Said she had a daughter who wanted to be a witch.
Ah, that's why I remember this place. She says.
And so you were brought here. You're Celine.
I am, she says.
I was just a priestess then, second degree. She says, when that happened, that was 20 years ago, 30 years.
How are you doing the degree system based on levels, by the way?
You are second degree now.
I've just recently made second degree myself, she says.
Excellent. She says, wow. And you're only, you can't be more than 50.
It's 51, yes, she says.
Wow. Well done.
Thank you, she says.
Okay, so we're going to check your genealogy, right? And we're going to check your genealogy. She says to Yasma. And yours, she says to Von Vin. Okay. I'm sure that you know yours, Your Highness, she says. He laughs, he says, yes, I do. I'm pretty convinced of mine too, though I understand that more fully 30% of elves are not sired by the elf they thought they were.
I imagine they checked that, though, before they named you as being in the succession, Your Highness.
No, that was Ruavel, but...
Oh, there's Ruavel. Okay, no, but she says that too. Actually, wasn't Xerxes here?
Yeah.
Yeah, she says that to Xerxes.
Yeah, I'm sure they did. He says, besides, I look like my dad. He says I was like strong and he was big.
Keep up the workouts we've been doing in the Marines, and that ain't gonna last, she says. Before long, we'll be pressing stuff like the sergeant, she says.
Pressing the sergeant? Nah. I'll just bench press Fonda and he picks her up and starts flexing her.
Oh, good night, Stretch. I'm sorry I missed you taking off.
Okay, good night, Stretch.
No.
Yes. Have a good sleep. And I forgot to say hello to Wither King when he showed up.
Yeah.
Oh, do we have like, I don't know what music you're playing, but this is like moon elf type music I think we should be having, eh?
Yeah. This is epic combat music. Daytime in the Elven Vale. Elven Flottus.
Is the screen blurry for anyone else? Probably it did a weird thing when Aaron changed the music. I don't know. Interfere. Looks fine to me though.
I think my screen's frozen here.
Uh-oh.
Alright, I'll check it. I gotta subscribe to our channel.
Sable just moved apparently, so I guess we're not frozen.
Fucking. Okay. No, it's not frozen.
Okay, we'll turn off our channel then so it doesn't interfere. Sorry, excuse me.
Turn off our channel, okay. I'll go hang out with coffee. Add a person. Okay. Yeah, probably just drop frames or something.
There was a dip in our bit rate, I think.
Oh, that's loud. Fuck.
What's loud? Oh, the elf music is loud?
Yeah. I'll put that up again. And just turn the music down. Making birds and stuff more loud. Is that too loud, guys? Are you guys even hearing it? In the chat, is that music too loud compared to the voices? Do we even have anybody? Oh, yeah.
I guess I should have muted my mic there. I forgot. I managed to spill coffee on myself. Good thing I turned off my camera for a minute.
Isn't too loud? Okay. Okay, she says, now, to take your measure, we need to measure you from head to foot. And she starts doing so. Don't have to get into this. Right. She measures around your neck, your chest, your waist, your knees. You know. Measures some important distances on your body. Like the distance of your index or your middle finger to your wrist. Right? The width of your pinky finger to the tip of your thumb. You know, stuff like that.
Right.
You know. What's that?
Okay.
She just said, okay, dear.
Okay. All right. And then she takes her sickle, right, which comes to a fine razor point, pinpoint, right, and she pricks your finger with it. She actually asks if you have your measure with you.
I do. She brings it out.
Then I don't have to do this for you. And then she marks the knots on your measure with your blood. Yours is already done, of course.
Of course.
Right? And she then says, okay, now if you follow me, we'll do some divinations.
Yep. Follows along.
Yep, follow along.
Following.
Yep.
I don't know if Aaron had any plans for Celine's dad. I kind of threw that at him, so.
I did, actually.
Cool.
Right. So the three ladies in the party sit down with this priestess. Ruavel and Xerxes will hang around outside the circle. She then entices you to breathe the smoke of the incense.
Okay.
You bet.
Okay.
Gets into kind of a meditative state. She knows how this goes.
Yeah, you feel yourself floating. Right? Like weightless. Not cold like in space, though. And you feel yourself regressing. Not mentally, but physically in your body.
Okay.
You feel it like your arms are getting younger and smaller and weaker. And as you perceive the world, you realize that you're turning back into an infant.
Trippy.
Yeah, ain't it?
Okay.
And then the realization that you're seeing right back into your earliest memories.
Neat.
Right? And you're seeing yourself come out of the womb.
Ooh. Okay.
Right? So you see your mother there. And you see your father there. You assume it's your father. It is the elf that's holding your mother in all three cases. Right?
It's the same guy?
It's the same elf. When you describe it to each other, describe him, he's a Starnelfar.
Oh dear.
Rualfar, we changed that.
Rualfar, right, Rualfar. Right? And he's got long silver hair and purple eyes and an almost purple complexion. It's
right.
very alabaster, but it's almost purple.
Gotcha.
Right?
Like Von Vin.
Like Von Vin, yeah. Yeah, like Von Vin. Go figure. Right?
In other words, she looks lots like her dad.
Yeah, she does.
To her sisters.
Wait, so we got the same dad?
Yeah, apparently we all have the same father.
Oh, we're some blood family. Wow.
Apparently
Cool.
we do. She's now I gotta figure out who the heck this guy is.
Yeah, what the hell?
You note he was wearing a big pendant with a phoenix on it in Fire Opal,
Interesting.
right? And the chain was made out of mithril. The chain that it went around his neck on. In all 3 of your visions, too, by the way, so you must wear that all the fucking time.
Yeah, she quickly takes some paper and sketches it.
Mm-hmm.
Priestess and says, "Have you seen this before? This is a fire opal and this is mithril," she says.
Yes, of course. She says this is the symbol of the house Sunfall. What?
Oh God, I hope not. I hope they're distant cousins or something, because
Yeah,
ew!
no. She goes, it's worn, this particular pendant is worn by the Imperial Prince in remembrance of the Sunfalls that fell with his family when they came from Avalon.
Yeah, she looks at Louisville like, "Does this look familiar to you?" she says, holding it up to her.
Yeah. My ancestors gave it to the crown, the king. Since it was claimed by the Elven king.
You say the pendant's worn by a prince?
An imperial prince.
An imperial prince. So our
imperial
father's a prince. Our father's the imperial prince.
Apparently so, he says. My family served the royal family since they left Avalon. Since the Kimarnes.
Huh. Well, then how the heck did I become an orphan?
Clearly he lost track of your mother.
Clearly. Well, maybe. Who knows? Maybe some imperial drama there.
Interesting. Also about that, though, says Vonvin, I was told that nobody knew anything, just some passing ranger. My father was at my birth. That seems fine with the story I was given. Yep.
Yeah.
That vision could be symbolic.
Right, says the priestess. It could be symbolic.
It might not be that he was actually there at any of our births. It could be that it was a vision to symbolize who he was. Sometimes visions work that way.
Yes,
she
says
says.
the priestess.
Before we go off and go, start slapping around the people in our lives, which I was tempted to do a second ago too, she says. Mom couldn't have noticed that.
Yeah. I think I noticed.
It's going to have some very cross words.
You're going to have some very cross words with your uncle?
Was, she says.
Yeah, it could be symbolic.
Besides that, I'm still completely confuzzled how a woman in an elven grove give birth and still die from blood loss. That completely baffles me how that was even possible.
Still, there would have been a lot of healing power right there.
Okay.
Could be, she says, or maybe they didn't tell her the exact truth. Maybe her mother came to the grove seeking aid or something.
It's hard to say, says Monvin. My uncle is never told me that he's my actual blood uncle, my mother's brother, even. So this casts suspicion on everything, as it were.
I think we need to go and talk to Madrimlian and confirm that the person we've seen is the same person. I can't draw this, not well enough to draw a portrait that would be clearly recognizable. Do that, she says. Oh, but first, I'm sorry. I meant to ask, she says.
Perfect.
Oh, and what did we have any other business here? Yes. I have a friend, she says. That friend, actually, she says, who would like to trade this, she says, presenting the sword, for an Othame. Yes. Thank you. Your timing is impeccable, she says to them. She looks
well,
cross.
something happened.
We've had a very interesting vision, and now I want to confirm the reality of it, she says.
Quite, says Vanden.
Do tell.
I'd rather go and have a look at what we need to look at first, she says. Tell you.
Okay.
Yeah, just to make sure that we don't have our heads shoved up our asses, as it were.
Well,
Yeah, good plan.
Perfect. Does this meet your specifications, Crowley?
Yes, indeed, it's perfect. Thank you very much.
Speaking
Thank
of
you,
swords,
she says.
we've actually come to get some divinations done. I believe Dr. Firewalker and Dr. Arias will have more of the information. Yeah, and the Maker's Mark on the sword apparently matches the Maker's Mark on our friend's exoskeleton.
Our friend implies that he talks.
Yes, of course I talk. Sorry. Tip my hat. No worries, that happens quite frequently.
We think so.
Except the Maker's Mark is
I
apparently...
am so making you a sign.
Oh, go ahead there, Vonvin.
Lyric sort of needs a sign. Lyric needs a sign, and I'm going to make him one. It says, not an automaton.
Well, here's the conundrum. The Maker's Mark comes to a 1 Orion Spellbound. That's the conundrum.
Andy was the human.
Wait, which French?
Fascinating.
This is almost
Curious,
being
sir,
like
and
more than a
curious.
coincidence.
I'll say, says Celine.
Okay, now you've got me thinking.
Uh, this is, well, I smell the smoke. She says, no, I'm kidding. Gives his arm a squeeze, like, it's cool.
No. The three of you all made similar comments when the comment of His Imperial Majesty, His Imperial Highness was brought up. So, let's get. Is it a leap?
Yep. Rowan says she just laughed so hard she choked on air. That's
Someone,
pretty hard.
the thing is, someone did make the mention of this as seeming more like less of a coincidence, so that's what was going on. Okay, then never mind.
Good. She says, thank
Yeah,
you
let's
very
go
much.
take a look at that portrait.
Of course, I don't have to ask you to not be spreading this around, right? Thank you. Thank you, she says.
Appreciate that.
Very much.
If
Pleasure to meet you.
sometime there's something we can do, please let us know.
Anytime there's something we
Said,
can do for you, please let us know, she said.
Yep.
I would say it's probably likely, she says.
Wait, he's here?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, which is right
Oh.
around my home.
Yes, that's right, she says.
Says Von been looking at
Yes.
the other ladies. There seems to be a very interesting web of coincidence around us.
Yeah, very much so.
Neither do I, says Celine, which indicates that there's something going on. Mm-hmm.
About to say.
And ahead.
Yes. She says, nodding to Von Vin. Yes, absolutely. Let's go have a look, shall we? See what we're looking at, she says. Right. Oh, and I'm sorry, I forgot. Was Ruaville with us originally or with the other group? Okay. It's Xerxes who asked that question. Sorry. Okay. I think you said Ruaville or I heard Ruaville, but either way. That's why I was confused. No matter. Ah, okay. Because I said, you recognize this, right? I thought he was there to overhear that conversation. All right. Okay, we go and look at the portrait. Is it the guy? Right.
Holy cow, it's him. Just like I saw him in the
London.
vision.
But, yep, that's me.
Me three. Apparently, this man is our father, she says, looking at everybody else. She says. And now we have to have some long talks with some people, she says.
Right. I'll just go back to the library.
Oh, no,
Now I
you
wonder who
don't,
my
she
mother is.
says, grabbing him by the collar. You're coming with me, she says.
What did I
Going
ever
to
do to
prevent
you?
me from saying horrible things to my mother, she says.
I guess she wasn't lying when she called us her girls. Technically, she's our mom too.
Guess so, she says.
The sergeant leans over to Xerxes. Says,
You
does
know,
that mean she outranks you all the way now?
Damn it, says
Does that mean she outranks her mother?
Which one of us is the oldest? She says. Damn it, she says. This is official now, is it? She says. That was really off the cuff, she says.
really quick. I don't
Clearly,
even
you.
here yet. And really quick, I don't even have a Freya's tear yet. Fair enough.
Are we sure I'm the oldest? Come on now. When's your birthday? She starts asking.
I happen to know I was conceived on the first day of spring on the festival.
Damn it, she says. And you have no idea, I would imagine, she says to Yasma, right?
Hold on, let me check my sheet to see if it's actually in there.
That's a bit of a twist, dear.
I'm
My sheet
124.
says I'm 40.
Oh, Yasma's the oldest.
Oh. What?
Right. AJ is giving us a posture check
Oh,
and a
okay.
hydrate. Hydrate.
Hail, hydrate.
I'm the oldest?
Shlante.
Apparently, you outrank us all, she says.
Oh, really? That's weird for me.
Gold digging cat?
Let's go confirm this, she says. Let's have a talk with our parents. My mother,
Yeah.
her uncle.
And our dad.
Yes, I do believe that we shall have to make a trip to Carthon.
Didn't our mom
look
say
around.
we were headed there?
Heard towards
And
the
turn around
voice.
and look.
Your Imperial Highness, she says, and bows.
Our dad?
Your Highness. And bows.
Handy, I suppose, she says.
Very handy.
She says, I don't know how accurate it is, Your Highness, but we sought information about our genealogy. Von Vin, Yasma, and myself. And we each had a vision of you, she says. Are we your daughters? My mother is Deliana Wintermist, she says. Yes. Why not? She says. She nods. She figured it out. Oh, yes, she would have hated it.
Who is my mother? Was?
Okay, so track those people down and punch them in the nose, she says, just got on the list, nodding to Yasma.
Yep, Madrimlin's pulled out his notebook and is making notes.
Who's they?
Curiouser and curiouser, says Celine.
Oh, yes, our song, and she passed on my birth correspondence.
I suspect my mother knows, she says.
I have a sneaky suspicion that my uncle knew. Mind you, I didn't even know he was my actual related uncle until very recently, something he never told me.
Now I know why.
Little
She
bit
says
missed.
to. No, I get it. She says to Von Vin, putting a hand on her shoulder. If he told you that, you'd have been able to track down your lineage. Maybe he was trying to keep you out of court affairs. It's sensible. Oh, I think it's a little late now, she says. This is my boyfriend, Ruvel Sunfall, she says. And this would be Bonvin's boyfriend, Xerxes. I'm sure you've met, she says.
So it's probably going to eventually become impossible to keep our lineage under wraps.
She nods and says, yes, you're absolutely right. She says, and she looks at everyone else, for all the same reasons we are keeping Xerxes under wraps.
Yeah, probably a good call.
And I'm pretty sure my father knew too.
Yeah, I have no doubt of that, she says.
Yeah.
No, it wouldn't, she says.
That
The sergeant will,
seems reasonable,
the
says
sergeant will
London.
step forward and bow. I guess I should introduce.
That seems reasonable. We're at the very least going to have to tell Xerxes' father, says London, for some obvious reasons, I would think.
And Arian said,
Well, Aaron will step forward and bow and introduce himself and say, I guess I should tell you that I'm the Joker in the deck since apparently I'm dating your eldest daughter here.
Oh, yeah, sorry, Arian. My brain's turning a mile a minute right now, and I'm just scatterbrained. So much going on.
Well, I completely understand where she's coming from. She didn't know she was an Imperial princess until today, and I didn't know I was a Duke until yesterday, so apparently. I am.
Marines,
Yes.
she says.
New special unit, says Bonvin. We use Gnomish Independent Skin Disease.
Yeah, she says all properly, and then Celine promptly says bug suits.
So does it generally. In uh, stereo with Celine.
Yeah.
And the sergeant just grits his teeth. No, Your Imperial Highness. Thank you, Your Imperial Highness.
We've been trying to think up something that will be catchier, that will fit better for says Fondant.
She shakes her head. She says, "No, it's not going to work. I'd love it to, but it won't." She says, "I've known far too many Marines."
Yeah, we've already gotten the moniker.
It's going to stick, she says. So we might as well own it. She looks at Arian and shrugs. "Come on, tell me I'm wrong," she says.
It all depends on if we can get the sergeants to decide to change the name, ma'am. If they decide to change the name, then they'll pound it into everybody else.
That's true, she says. The threat of violence is often a wonderful incentive. Okay, she's...
We should do a bunch of baking and bread, says Fondant. Nothing to make a Marine happier than, I was just saying, we should make a bunch of baking and bribe them. Nothing makes a Marine happier than feeding their tummy with something delicious.
That has merit.
Yep.
Well, she says, I have no idea what to do next, she says. I'm sure that's true, she says.
We will have to do that.
Thank you for taking the time to come to SS London, and I do believe that that is where our ship is next assigned. Thank you for taking the time. Okay. Morrison, space.
This has to be very awkward for you two, doesn't it?
Oh, good.
Yeah, she's like wiping her brow.
But we
here.
have brothers?
Oh, God.
We have brothers? Okay.
I'm sorry, she says.
We have a niece? My family just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Oh, wow.
So we have nieces. This is great, she says. Are they in Cimarron too? Oh, good, she says. Whose? Oh, right. Gone out my head. Sure. Sounds good. I'm sorry, she says.
If I remember correctly, Zune's name was Zune Zaran Celestis.
I'm sure.
Yep, that's correct. But that is several years in the future at this point. Interesting. Yeah, maybe. Also Draconia. We're headed there next, she says. Maybe we'll look them up. Oh, really? She says. Okay, I have a
Alrighty.
religion score, I think. I'm looking it up. No, I don't. I have knowledge arcana and knowledge nature. Seems to me like this is a big hole that should not have been neglected, but that's all right.
That's okay. I've got knowledge history, but I probably don't know anything about it from that because I don't know that history.
Celestis, the Imperial flagship. Good question. I thought it was, actually. I said.
So I should roll my history to remember that? Yeah. $18 total. Well, the Celestis was the Imperial flagship. Oh. I wasn't sure if it still was. It still is. That's why I
Okay, so he just can't help but stop laughing. In part, it's
Pathfinder, I
because
have
it's a
another.
relief of tension, but
Speaking of omens, our friend Lurik apparently has the the maker's mark of one of your old friends, Orion's spell song
spellbound.
or spellbound. Yeah.
But he is not old enough to have received his artificed body when Orion was living.
Then perhaps it's the mark of one of his church.
Not the same.
No, this was very clearly one, according to the gentleman who checked.
Well, here, and he'll show a picture because Benjamin would have taken a diagram of it. I am. Just a
How
minor
did you
one
know?
still.
Right, she says.
Let me check, but I don't think so. Nope, not yet. Unfortunately.
Not at all.
There are a lot of coincidences that connect us all together, and I'm not a believer in coincidences. She says, do you have any reason to believe that it might be some sinister force? Such things, especially when it's not clear who's maneuvering them. Surely it can't be good for the Imperial Crown to have us all in one place, she says. We're so scattered.
Yeah, how could anyone anticipate me joining the Navy?
Yeah, well, yeah, that was really unlikely, she says. Me, pretty much destiny, she says, but possibly drawn by the star seeds. She says, Yasma? That was a 1 in a million shot, she says.
And all of you ending up in the same unit, you better add a few zeros to the end of that. Like maybe a Google question for it.
I'm beginning to like a chess piece. Yeah, the more we look at things, the more I feel remarkably like a chess piece, and I'm wondering who's moving the pieces.
Oh, sometimes fate just has a hand in things.
Yes, but which side?
But often when it's something this unlikely, people like you are manipulating it, my friend, she says with a smile.
Yeah. Well,
And
if it is
we
one of your
believe
enemies,
you.
they've underestimated us.
I've half a mind to give a piece of my mind to that orphanage.
Yeah, actually, I think we
You know, as long as McGrimling stays away from coffee at the Bunsen burner.
I haven't touched coffee in the lab in months.
Oh, you're never going to live it down, she says, giving you the,
You're a
Big drink
Spartan.
of brain
Read
juice
it.
because it was coffee on the Bunsen burner.
Yeah. a 500 milliliter beaker.
Well, it was an accident.
Who were the Tremaines? Says London.
Well, this has been, I don't know how long was it? About 4 months now, she says.
Yes, I understand.
Of course, I have to say, out of game here, fuck Selnar! Seriously, I know this character. He hasn't died some bullshit because he was thinking about the butts. Give me a break. This guy measures time by lab explosions. What a load of horse shit coming out of his mouth.
That's what makes this extra funny.
Cats are leaving, apparently. Nah, are you coming out? Or are you staying? Not Ash, don't give a fuck. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, it's after 9.
This was hilarious. Really fun. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that was
It
awesome.
was good times.
So let's set her up.
Thanks for OT. It was good times.
Yeah, and we are going to raid, I think it's Coffee Quills. They're still up for another hour, 45 minutes, I think.
Yeah, Coffee's is still up.
Okay.
Sorry.
Wow, that was a lot of big reveals.
Yep. Some serious campaignness going on here. Probably he didn't expect to do it all in one episode. Music's playing. All right. And our credit screen is up. Okay. Toy Soldiers Old School is game mastered by Aaron Ree, based on the Toy Soldiers Saga universe created by Diane Morrison. Audio is provided by Google Meet. Sound effects and ambience provided by Sirenscape. Music provided by White Sand. Check out his Patreon at patreon.com/whitesand. Mapping software provided by Campaign Cartographer 3 Plus, Incarnate, and World Spinner, with adaptations in Adobe Photoshop. Provided by Fantasy Grounds, Hero Lab, and World Info. Check out our campaign at www.worldanvil.com/w/Toy Soldiers Saga. Distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution License, the Toy Soldiers Saga is copyright 1995 by Diane Morrison, all rights reserved. Thanks for joining us tonight. We're off to raid Coffee Quills. When you get there, please don't forget to shout, "Prepare to be boarded," because we are the Sabless Privateers. Have a good night, and if you're not playing the Game of Tones, or wanting to check out Aaron's GM tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific, then we will see you next week.
isn't Darth on at 11 or 12?
All right, have a good night, everybody.
Oh, that was lots of fun.
It was fun.
But although me and Gareth, we were pretty sure that was Orion spellbound and that Esteban had done it.
Yeah.
Although we were sure that before we found the Orion spellbound mark.
Well.
Out of game, it makes sense that the mark on the sword is his maker's mark. You know, you said the sword was blessed. Maybe it was made by a god.
Well, that means it's actually a legitimate O'Leary sword, though.
That's what I mean.
Yes, it's the sword of Alara for sure.
And you notice none of us mentioned that to Selnar either. None of us mentioned the sword to Selnar.
Business.
I was saying no one mentioned to Selnar about the sword.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
That'd be really weird.
Nope.
I don't know, he could have been all polymorphed as a cat somewhere. You could explain why Crowley's back.
That would make me the
No.
oldest.
No, the way our party's going, Crowley's probably the son of Orion.
Yeah, something like that for sure.
Or Esteban.
No, more likely he's the son of.
Yeah. Right.
Alright, you guys. I gotta go to bed. I gotta work in the morning.
That's
It's been a flight.
Like,
Yes, I do. More responsibility too.
All right, have a good night, guys.
Right.
Yeah.
Night,
You
Dawn,
too.
night, Blank.